In the chaotic heart of Baghdad, 2004, war isn't just a conflict, it's a constant, lethal hum in the air. For the US Army's Explosive Ordnance Disposal Unit, Bravo Company, their job is to silence that hum one bomb at a time. The opening quote hangs heavy. The rush of battle is often a potent and lethal addiction, for war is a drug. Out. This is their world. Hello world now. Sergeant J.T. Sanborn, the cocky-by-the-book professional, pilots a bomb disposal robot from the safety of their Humvee. Specialist Owen Eldridge, the youngest and most anxious member, provides support. Leading them is Sergeant First Class Matt Thompson, a seasoned pro whose nerves are starting to fray in the oppressive desert heat. Hello, world now. Their plan is simple. Use the robot to place a C4 charge and detonate it from a safe distance. But in Baghdad, nothing is simple. A stray rock jams the wheel of the C4 wagon, leaving it stranded halfway to the target. Thompson sighs, knowing what comes next. "Looks like I'm going down there," he says. Sanborn helps him into the 80-pound bomb suit, a cumbersome shell that turns a man into a slow-moving target. Thompson lumbers down the empty street, the world reduced to the sound of his own breathing inside the helmet. He reaches the IED, places the charge, and begins his careful walk back. His team watches, rifles ready, but they're not the only ones. In a nearby butcher shop, a man who was forcibly evacuated earlier has snuck back in. Eldridge spots him holding a cell phone. Kwai erupts. Eldridge and Sanborn scream at him to drop the phone, but their sightlines are blocked. Thompson, hearing the commotion through his headset, senses the danger and starts to run. It's too late. The butcher smiles and presses the button. A massive fireball engulfs Thompson, and in an instant, Bravo Company's leader is gone. The blast wave throws Sanborn and Eldridge to the ground, enveloping them in a cloud of dust and grief. Back at Camp Victory, Sanborn solemnly places Thompson's dog tags into a box containing the mundane remnants of his life, a stark, quiet end. Soon after, he meets his new team leader, Sergeant First Class William James. James is everything Thompson wasn't. A former Army Ranger with a quiet, self-absorbed demeanor, he carries an air of unnerving calm. He's disarmed hundreds of bombs, but in the process seems to have lost the need to connect with other people. The friction is immediate. Sanborn is professional and procedural. James is a cowboy. Their first mission together sets the tone. An ID is reported in a rubble pile. Instead of using the robot, James insists on going in himself. He dons the bomb suit with a John.tie bounce in his step, not of caution, but of eagerness. "He's reckless," Sanborn mutters. James proves him right. He tosses a smoke grenade to create a diversion, much to Sanborn's confusion. As he walks downrange, a taxi screeches to a halt in front of him. Ignoring Sanborn's frantic calls to come back, James handles it himself, drawing his pistol and forcing the driver back. He approaches the bomb and begins his work, only to discover it's not just one-eyed but a daisy chain, a ring of interconnected explosives. As James methodically cuts the wires, his helmet fogs up, his movements quickening as a suspicious factory worker watches from a balcony and then descends. In a tense race against an unseen clock, James disarms the final bomb just as the worker steps into the street. The man drops a 9-volt battery, revealing he was the detonator. James has won the first round. Back at the Humvee, his adrenaline is high, but Sanborn is furious. "This is combat," James says with a shrug, establishing a dangerous new standard for Bravo Company. With 37 days left in their rotation, the team is called to a Yun building where a blue sedan is suspected of being a car bomb. As James approaches in the bomb suit, a sniper opens fire and the car bursts into flames. In a shocking move, James orders Sanborn to take top cover, a junior man's job while he fights the fire. Once the flames are out, James makes a decision that leaves his team speechless. He kicks open the trunk, revealing it's packed with enough explosives to send us all to Jesus. Then he pulls the quick-release tab on his 80-pound suit, casting it aside. "If I'm going to die," he says calmly, "I want to die comfortable." Working without protection, he begins dismantling the massive bomb, ignoring Sanborn's increasingly desperate pleas over the radio. He's in a flow state, completely focused, a master craftsman at work. Frustrated, he throws his headset to the ground, cutting off communication and leaving his team to watch in horror as multiple onlookers, some with video cameras, gather on nearby rooftops. After a long, tense search, James finds the initiator hidden in the car's undercarriage, disarms it, and coolly walks back to the Humvee with a satisfied grin. Sanborn, enraged, charges him and punches him in the jaw. "Never turn your headset off again," he seethes. Their encounter is interrupted by Colonel Reed, a high-ranking officer who witnessed the event. Far from reprimanding James, he praises his guts, calling him a wild man. When asked how many bombs he's disarmed, James replies with chilling precision, 173. Counting today, sir. Later, at an explosives disposal range, the tension between Sanborn and James reaches a breaking point. After James casually drives downrange into the blast zone to retrieve a forgotten pair of gloves, Sanborn holds the remote detonator in his hand. He quietly discusses with Eldridge how easy it would be for it to misfire, obliterating their reckless leader. For a moment, he seriously considers it but can't go through with it. The dark thought hangs between them as they drive off into the desert, only to encounter a group of British military contractors with a flat tire. They're revealed to be mercenaries, transporting 2 high-value prisoners. As they work, a sniper attack erupts from a distant building. In the chaos, 3 of the 5 mercenaries are killed. Sanborn, James, and Eldridge are pinned down. The professional soldiers quickly take over. Sanborn, a former intelligence officer, proves to be a crack shot with the Barrett .50 caliber sniper rifle. Guided by James as his spotter, they engage in a deadly, long-range duel. When their ammunition runs out and the rifle jams with a dead man's blood, the 3 must work together under fire. James comforts a panicking Eldridge, helping him clean the gore-caked bullets. The shared trauma forges a fragile bond. After a grueling standoff under the blazing sun, Sanborn finally takes out the last insurgent. They are exhausted, dehydrated, but alive. That night, fueled by whiskey, the raw emotions boil over. They engage in a drunken, violent brawl that ends with James tackling Sanborn and holding a knife to his throat, only to break into a childlike laugh. The horseplay reveals James's most private secret, a small box filled with components from bombs that nearly killed him, including his own wedding ring. "Stuff that almost killed me," he explains. For him, these aren't just parts, they are trophies, reminders of the rush. Their next mission takes them to a bombed-out building. Inside, they find a recently used bomb factory and a horrifying discovery on a makeshift operating table, the dead body of a young boy, his chest cavity crudely hollowed out and stuffed with an artillery shell. It's a body bomb. James recognizes the boy's disfigured face. It's Beckham, a street-savvy kid who sold pirated DVDs at their base, a boy James had developed a fondness for. The war has finally broken through James's armor. He refuses to simply detonate the body. Against procedure, he gently removes the explosives himself and carries the boy's body out. The experience sends him over the edge. While the team is still on site, their psychiatrist, Lieutenant Colonel Cambridge, who tagged along to see the action, is killed by a secondary IED. Eldridge, who had urged the doctor to join them, is devastated and blames himself. Driven by guilt and rage over Beckham's death, James goes on a rogue mission, forcing the new DVD seller at gunpoint to drive him to Beckham's home. His clumsy, one-man investigation yields nothing but a violent confrontation with the boy's family and a bloody head wound. He returns to base only to be immediately sent out on another call, a massive tanker explosion. At the chaotic scene, James becomes convinced the bomber is still nearby. Against Sanborn's furious protests, he leads his team into the darkness on a freelance hunt. They soon find Eldridge has been captured. In the ensuing firefight to rescue him, James accidentally shoots Eldridge in the leg, a wound that shatters his femur. As Eldridge is airlifted out, his friendship with James is destroyed. "Thanks for saving my life," he says bitterly, "but we didn't have to go out looking for trouble so you could get your adrenaline fix, you fucking warmonger." With just 2 days left in their rotation, James and Sanborn face their final and most harrowing challenge. A terrified Iraqi man approaches a checkpoint with a bomb strapped to his chest. It's a massive device locked in a metal cage with multiple padlocks. He's not a suicide bomber, but a victim, forced to wear the bomb against his will. James, ignoring Sanborn's plea that the mission is suicide, walks downrange to disarm it. He discovers a timer. He has less than 5 minutes. The locks are case-hardened steel, and the bolt cutters are useless. With seconds ticking away, Sanborn begs him to leave. "He's a dead man, Will," he screams. James refuses, trying desperately to break the locks until the last possible moment. He looks the crying, pleading man in the eyes. "I'm sorry," he says, and runs. The man explodes in a devastating blast that knocks James to the ground and grazes Sanborn with shrapnel. In the aftermath, driving through the dusky streets of Baghdad, Sanborn finally breaks. He tells James he's not ready to die, that he wants to go home and have a son. He asks James how he does it, how he takes the risk every single day. James, for the first time, has no answer. "I don't know why I am the way I am," he admits. They share a look, no longer leader and subordinate, but two men at the edge, brothers at last. Months later, James is home in the sterile, quiet world of suburban America. He is a ghost, alienated from his wife and infant son. The dizzying array of choices in a supermarket cereal aisle paralyzes him. The mundane tasks of family life feel foreign and meaningless. One night, as he puts his baby to bed, he confesses a profound, sad truth. He explains that as you get older, the things you love become fewer and fewer. "By the time you get to be my age," he tells the child, "maybe it's only 1 or 2 things." He pauses, looking at his son. "With me, I think it's 1. The final scene finds James back where he belongs. He steps off a C-130 onto a Baghdad tarmac, his face breaking into a smile. He dons the bomb suit again, another lonely walk down another empty block toward another bomb. The title card appears, "Days left in Delta Company's rotation." Day. He has chosen his one thing. The addiction is all he has left. He disappears down the road, a man willingly walking back into the Hurt Locker. Thanks for tuning in. Stay curious, stay awesome, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more amazing content.